Hi, I'm Bill Nixon. Thanks for coming today. We're going to talk about after rehab. What happens after you leave rehab? I guess that depends on who leaves rehab. And when I say it that way, what I'm talking about is the old you leaving rehab that just is drug-free now, quote, addiction-free as far as the chemical physiology part of it? Or psychologically, are you different? I bring this up because I've worked with many addicts. I've worked with people time and time again who have come out of rehab and have not changed. I've asked them the question, are you an addict? And they go, yes. Are you an alcoholic? Yes. Well, what happened in rehab? Well, I don't do it anymore. But I'll always be an addict for the rest of my life. I'll always be an alcoholic for the rest of my life. And it was just something about when they said that to me, it bothered me at the deepest levels. You know, you have to be who you are. And if you're an addict, then you're an addict. If you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic. And that bothered me. How could you possibly walk around and say, hi, I'm Bill, I'm an addict, and then expect change? There's a saying that says the strongest force in the human race is the need to remain consistent with who we think we are. So if we think we're an addict, then we are, and our mind wants us to stay an addict. So the moment you get a choice where somebody says, hey, would you like some of this? You know, it's a good drug. It's just a little bit. You won't relapse from it. Really? You're still an addict. And if you even think about it, relapsing is almost certain. Same thing with alcoholics. Oh, you can have just one drink, it won't hurt you. But if you think you're an alcoholic, then drinking that drink just reinforces the pattern in your mind that you're an alcoholic. So for that, we think very differently. We use a therapy, if that's what we want to call it, a hypnosis, guided visualization is another term for it, to help you see the destructive behavior of what you're doing. For example, you get out of rehab and you start to work with us. And by the way, one of the requirements of working with us is that you're clean. And it has to be X amount of days. And I'd like to make another note. If you're addicted to heavy opiates or something like that, you do need to go to a detox before you even begin to work with us. You've got to detox. You've got to have it out of your system. But anyway, let's go back to this where we're talking about how this works with us. One of the things we try to do with you, and we do, is we will actually help you see yourself realistically in the past, but not very much in the past. Just a little bit, and then we'll see what your future looks like if you continue the same behavior. Believe me, if you continue the same behavior and expect a different result, it's kind of insanity. So what we try to do then is take you to the future and say, okay, if you continue to be an addict, if you continue to be an alcoholic, and you continue to use and abuse these substances and your body, what happens? What's the future going to be like? What's it going to be like in a week? What's it going to be like in 2 weeks? What's it going to be like in a month? What's it going to be like in 6 months? What about a year? What about 5 years? And all of a sudden, when we do that, the pain of the future becomes so real that your brain says, wait a minute, stupid, change. This is dumb. This is what we're going to do. All of a sudden now, it becomes painful to continue that behavior. That's the basis and the beginning of change. Once you've had that happen to you, and you felt it, you're not going to want that anymore. But pain, we will do anything to avoid pain. Pretty much, you'll never go back and put your hand on a hot stove or something like that because you want to avoid pain. Same thing here. You want to avoid emotional pain. That's the reason you went to rehab to begin with. That's the reason you went to detox, was to avoid the pain, to get out of the pain. You went there, had some pain, got out of it now. But then we go to the future, and we future forecast. We take you and say, okay, let's say you did change. What if you changed right now, today? Great. What happens in 1 week? Well, not much. Maybe your eyes are clear, maybe you're feeling a little bit better, maybe you're thinking better. Okay, what about a month from now? Well, you're feeling a lot better. You have a lot more energy. You're not craving anymore this substance that you're putting in your body. Take it out 6 months. Now your life is completely changed. You have different friends, chances are. You have maybe a different job, but you have a different outlook on life. Things are better. People are saying to you, hey, you did a good job, man. How did you do it? I'm proud of you, etc., etc. You might even have a new social circle, which quite often happens. Then you go to a year. Well, what happens then? Maybe your career is skyrocketed. Maybe you're a professional of some type, and people are noticing that, hey, you say what you're going to do and do what you say you're going to do, it's an incredible feeling and a self-worth that you have. And that's 1 year out. What about 2 years? What about 5 years? How does your life dramatically change? That's probably the biggest key to this. So what we do is we use the carrot, okay, this is what your life could be, and the stick, this is what it will be if you don't change or haven't changed. So that's how we use the pain and pleasure to get your mind to reprogram itself. We're not reprogramming it. We're simply guiding you through the process. We're simply saying, what if this? Well, what about this? Let's go out a year. That's how it works. It's an incredibly effective program. I can tell you, people that have been addicted to opiates, people that have been addicted to alcohol, to pot, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, all these people, when they changed their self-image, they changed who they were in the future, they changed to the pleasure side of it, they were trying to avoid the pain, which is what your brain does. Anyway, so after rehab, give us a call. Let's just give us a call. We'll do a quick consultation with you to see if this is something that will help you and eliminate, and I mean eliminate the struggle and the struggles that most people in the rehab situations after rehab have. Time and time again, I've seen people get out of rehab, spend thousands and thousands, countless thousands of dollars, only to get out and say, well, I'm still an alcoholic, or I'm still a drug abuser, I'm still an opiate addicted, but I don't do it anymore. And I think it's sad. And that's where we come in. You could call myself, we talk, email us is a great way to talk with us. Dr. Stephen Roth in Miami is phenomenal at this. And Amy Emmy out of Florida is also incredible. I'm over here on the West Coast, and we do work together, and we have a referral system of many people that we can send you to. But again, if you change who you think you are, then you've changed who you are. Thank you. Appreciate your time. God bless you. See you on the next podcast and video.